And we are live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my Thursday live stream. It's the Hack. How's everybody doing? Just going to see who's in the house here. Let's see what we got. We got R2R3. Buddy, how are you? Cyber Evil, thanks for coming in. Jeff Underwood, how are you? Dancing Jason Wade, how's it going, buddy? Cyber Evil, how's it going? Who else we got in the house?
Underwood, how are you?
Oops.
Dancing Jason.
Rookie mistake. Who else we got? Oh, Marco's Images. Love the app. You guys are probably checking out that GigCon footage. Yeah, some of those jams and some of those videos coming out of there are fantastic, man. That stuff, it's really entertaining. I don't know, I'm finding it actually a little better this year than last year. I don't know if that's your experience, but it's pretty cool so far what I've seen from GigCon. Digging to know your gear. Yeah, this was like, I bought this shirt. This was before Phil hit the big number, and these were like the original shirts. So I was trying to get one before he switched over. I did want one with the Les Paul, of course, but you know the order got mixed up. So whatever. Paul Lou, how are you, man? Yeah. So welcome everybody for coming in. So I posted a video the other day. I got 3. Jason's got 3. Know your gear. Jason, you must really know your gear, man. You got 3 shirts, buddy. Anyways, I posted a video up the other day asking if there were any topics that you folks wanted me to talk about this show. And a couple came up. And if you've got anything else you guys want to chat about, by all means. One of them was how to get Frank Corcoran. How are you, man? One of them was how do you get gigs, and the other question was about picking. I can talk about the gig thing. Again, you know, with the gig thing, I think it really depends on where you live. I'm in the GTA, so I'm in Toronto, Canada. And, you know, we have a circuit here, so to speak, of, you know, bars and things. There's actually a lot of places to play in this particular area, which is really, really cool. Guitar Girl, how are you? Yeah, so there's a lot of places to play in this area. So my experience, what basically happened was the band that I joined, and I've been with them, I believe I'm going on, it's either 4 or 5 years. And originally, we had the one guy it's really his band. I'm basically just a hired gun. And what he would do is he would just kind of develop the Facebook page, put a website together using, I think it's called Wix. Some of you might know that site. It's like a free setup, you know, to set up a web page. And he set that all up, and he made it look like really professional. And when I joined the band, they were already established, so that was already in place. And he was getting gigs, right? But it wasn't a tremendous amount of gigs. You know, we were only doing maybe 8 to 12 a year. Okay, keeping in mind that generally we don't gig in the winter time. Okay, so our winter, you know, you're looking at late November, and it doesn't really get nice again, you know, till probably like April. Like it's horrible, right? If anybody's in the northern states, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. So we do about 8-12 gigs in that span of time. And he would just, you know, contact all the bars. And again, there are a lot of bars, and he would do that all on his own. And, you know, of course, you know, sending emails to bars, Facebook, and all that kind of thing, contacting the bars and trying to get us gigs there. And then he would refer to, you know, check out the Facebook page, check out our, you know, our website and all that kind of thing. And, you know, and of course, there were a lot of rejections, right? But there was, you know, again, you know, out of all of them, we'd get 8-12. And then there was, I'm sure you do this. Why not gig in the winter? A couple of reasons, Jeff Underwood. Number one, we're all over 50. We're all old guys. And I don't like the idea of carting gear in and out of venues when it's cold. And Scott Nickerson, how are you, buddy? and also, the weather is so unpredictable, right? Like, we had a couple of gigs in the winter time, and it was just, you know, it just wasn't worth it, honestly, like to go. And it's actually from a gigging perspective, it's actually really seriously, it's better to gig in the winter time. Reason being, the bars are generally a little bit busier in the wintertime, like the local bars, right? Because in the summertime, people are out and about, right? In the cottages, and they go away and stuff. So from that perspective, it's actually better for the bands to play in the wintertime. But we're like, that's okay. Soda Pop, Soda Pop's in the house. How are you, man? So that's basically what he was doing. And the other thing I was going to mention is we have something here, and I'm sure you have these in the States. Rib fests, which are pretty big events, and there's a bunch of rib people, sellers come out, and there's rib competitions and all this kind of stuff, and they usually have a lot of bands, and you apply for these things, right? So we get some of these as well. So they were the best gigs because they had a back line. So what that means is they had all the gear there already, PA and everything, and you would just have to show up and plug in, quick sound check, and you would do your thing, and you would only play for about an hour. So those, we call those hit and runs. So they were nice. They were a nice thing to do. So we kind of went like that for a while, and then like everything else, you start, and then your word gets out and people like you. And then that one bar that hired you the one time, Jeff Underwood Barbecue, we have them in good band. Okay, there you go. So Jeff Underwood knows what I'm talking about. So Zach Thong in the house. Hey, man, I saw you over at Pete Thorne. Yeah. I'm on Pete Thorne as much as possible. He's an awesome dude. So we were doing a lot of that, and then it's like anything else. It's you're building up a reputation, and so you play the bar the one time, and then they like you, and then they'll book you again, and it just sort of starts to unroll from there, right? It's like a little bit of a domino effect. And what happened was, so we did this for about 3 years, and every year we would get 4 or 5 more gigs than the year before. And it just kept kind of building and building and building. And then what happened last year is some of the bars that we were playing, or I don't know, through other bands, or anyway, I don't know exactly how it happened, but there's agents that hire bands for local bars. So there's bars that you can't play them unless you have an agent. Now, normally what happens is bands really kill themselves to get an agent. Like you have to sell the agent on the band. That's normally how it goes. In our experience, what happened was the agents came to us because we never used them at all. We had no agents. Nobody knew who the hell we were. We were like a one-man show, so to speak. We were completely independent. And all of a sudden, it wasn't one agent, it was 2 agents. They started contacting us. And, so we tried this one agent one time, and the first bar he books us into, it was the best show we ever played, in the sense that the bar was absolutely packed. It was insane. There were people lined up down the road. They couldn't even get into the place. Now, that had nothing to do with us. I'll be honest. I'm not going to, that had nothing to do with us. Hey, Bobby Clipper, how are you, man? It's just that bar was very, very popular, and he was the agent that booked that bar, so he'd get us into that bar, and it was like that was one. And then what happens is, so they would, the agent would try you out, so you'd play that bar, and then the agent would call and say, well, how was the band, this and that, whatever. And fortunately for us, the bar owners liked us and said, yeah, we want those guys back. So then that one gig turned into another gig, right? And actually, it's funny because a lot of the bar owners, once we would come in and they would like the band, they would tell us, hey, we'll book you, but don't involve the agent. Now you're kind of biting the hand that feeds you to do that. So we avoid doing that, because if that ever got back to that agent, then, you know, we'd be blackballed. So, but that's happened to us more than once, where we've gone and we've played a bar, and, you know, they've said, well, you know, we want you back, but don't involve the agent. But we've never done that, because that's just silly to do that. So, but that's kind of how it's been going. Old man Dan, how's it going? Dave's Our Guitars, how are you, man? So that's basically it. And so as a result, this year we've done, I think, more gigs. Well, I know more gigs than we've ever done, because we're still, excuse me, we still have the gigs. Dave Byron, hey buddy, how are you? Hey, anytime, man, anytime. So Dave Byron, he's just thanking me for having him on. I had him on Tuesday. I had a great time, Dave, and everybody loved it, man. So thank you so much for coming on. That was fantastic. Old man Dan in the house, how's it going? Um, so yeah, so this year we've done more shows than ever. Reason being is the agents have been getting us gigs, and we've been still getting our own gigs. So between the agent and our own gigs, like we've been really busy. That being said, though, we've only got one left, so we've only got one gig left for the year. But already we got contacted this like yesterday from another place, so there might be more. I don't know yet. I don't know, but honestly, we don't want to go out in December, and we don't want to go out again until next April, just because of the winter. And we've already got, like, just to kind of show you how this whole thing works, because we're a known entity, we, you know, with the agents, with the bars, we've already got 9 shows booked for next year. So that's never happened before. So it's just, you know, it's just really taken off. So we're pretty happy about that. So again, that's sort of the way it works in the area that I'm in. I don't know if that applies. I think it was actually, and he's not on here, I think it was GTV that was asking me about how to get gigs. But that's our experience with gigs. Yeah. And actually, the last show that we did, great news for you. Yeah, thanks, Jason Wade. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's totally unexpected, and yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, thanks, Jason Wade. So, but you know, it's funny because the show we played last week, I rarely, if ever, take a backup guitar. I used to all the time bring a backup. You know, here I am playing, you know, a lot less shows and taking a backup guitar. And this year, when I had a ton of shows, I didn't take a backup guitar. So of course, what happens last week, I was taking, of course, you know, one of my Les Pauls, as always. Well, not as always, but as usual. And yeah, thanks, Dave Byron. Yeah, it's cool, man. And I had a problem with my guitar, and it was horrible, you know, because you're on stage, there's nothing you can do. The problem that I had, and I went live from the venue last Saturday, you know, because there was people asking me to, you know, can you go live, and so I did. I actually had a decent enough Wi-Fi from that venue that I went live. And I was talking about it then. But what happened was my high E string kept going out of tune. And that guitar was bulletproof. I've used that guitar, you know, for a lot of shows this year. Hey, Fender Guru, how's it going, buddy? And I've used that Les Paul for many shows. And so, you know, I thought, well, maybe, you know, when you keep tuning it up, sometimes what happens is the winding on the ball of the string starts to unravel, and you're just pulling it. So I always take, one thing I always do is I always have an extra set of strings. So I swapped out the string. I took the old one out, and the string, you know, was fine. So it's like, okay. So anyway, I put a new string on regardless, and I had the same situation. And I solo in, I would say, 80 to 90% of all the songs that we do. And it was the hardest thing for me to solo. Hang on a second here, folks. It was the hardest thing for me to solo and not be able to hit the high E string. I mean, on the spot, you know. So, man, I did the best I could. But hey, Scotty G, how are you, man? How's it going? So I did the best I could, but if you want to try that as an exercise, there's an exercise for you. Play a solo that you know and avoid playing the high E. Like that's tricky. Like you're going way up the neck and you're making stuff up on the spot. And I mean, I admit I flubbed left, right, and center, but I don't know. But amazingly, at the end of that gig, that those bar owners, and that was a gig that we got on our own. That was not an agent gig. Those bar owners came up and they threw us two more shows next year. So I guess the high E string didn't bother them, which just goes to show you, like, when you're playing live, um, you're so concerned, because you're playing, what sounds right, what sounds bad. You're so focused on your, playing everything right, note for note, your vibrato, your attack, your tone, all that kind of stuff. But the people out there, they couldn't care less, man. Like nobody knew that my high E string was out. I'm up on the stage, sweat pouring, like, oh my God, I stink. It sounds like crap. And they couldn't care less. They're still up having a good time and they threw us more gigs. So that just kind of proves that whole point that they just don't know. As long as, I guess, it's something blatantly obvious, like the drummer, drops his strings or kicks over a cymbal or something. As long as there's something going on, the crowd is fine. So that just proved that point right there. Yeah. Somebody was saying a nut sauce. Yeah, Frank Corcoran. It wasn't anything. It wasn't binding. It was nothing like that. I still haven't. The guitar is still in the case. I haven't even taken it out since then. But I think what I have is the issue I have is the tuning key. The gears are not holding, so it's kind of rolling back. I think that's what it is. I've got to buy a new tuning key, and it's the old. It's a Kluson key, and it's the vintagey looking one with the. It's kind of like a greeny look to it. It's got that vintage vibe. Anyways, it's easy to get a Kluson key, but sometimes it's really hard to match because I've had this experience before. If you look at all the different guitars, the Klusons, they're all the same mechanism, but they use different colored heads on them, and sometimes it's hard to get that same head. So, but that's something I've got. Actually, I might do that tomorrow. I'm gonna go to my guy and have him check him out and see if I can get a new tuning key, because that Les Paul, it's like that's my bulletproof Les Paul. It always sounds great and it feels great. So that's something I might use for the next gig. If I don't, actually, what I might use, I don't know if you can see it. I got my Les Paul with the P90s back here. I'll probably use that. I love that guitar a lot, but because I play with a lot of gain, I really have to be quick on the volume knob with that, and I got to deaden all the strings that I'm not playing, because when I go for a lead, that's a noisy bugger. Which it's unfortunate because the thing sounds so damn good. Steve Mack's video for matching. Okay, Dave R, I will do that. Guitar Girl, ever run into any songs where you finger pick the need to solo and realize there's no time to grab a pick? Just yeah, I saw your video, Guitar Girl. Man, you're coming along, man. That was pretty good. And I sent you a comment. Yeah, I saw you respond to that. I'm not being kind. That was good. That was good. Believe me. I don't finger pick at all. I don't, I don't do slide. I don't do finger picking. I just pick with the pick. I mean, I don't tap. I'm like zero technique, man. I just do the one thing, that's basically, and I have a hard enough time with that. Believe me, there's a reason why I'm called the guitar hack. That for me is challenging enough. Yeah. But I can see that being an issue. Quentin James in the house. Hey, kids. So if anybody's got any other questions, anything they want to talk about, finger picking really helps if you And Cheddar Kung Pao comes in with a fantastic comment. Welcome, Cheddar. That's funny, buddy. Gotta go, guys. Waiting to see how my cousin. Oh, okay. Oh, I hope your cousin's is okay. Yeah, I've been that storm. Sounds like it's pretty bad, Dave Byron. Hope everything is well with you, brother. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so I've got I'll save it for later. But I got a couple of things I want to mention upcoming on my channel here. But I'll save that for later. Paul Lou, how you doing, dude? I've heard you play Not Giving. Okay, Paul Lou. Listen, man. You know I've been getting, and I don't get me wrong, man. I really appreciate the positive comments and all that. But I've said it before. You know, like I thank you. I mean, I really try, like, honestly, I really try hard when I play to sound good. I do the best that I can, but you know, believe me, it's never going to go to my head because I'm the most critical, and you know, of me, of the band. Like, I'm too, I don't know how to put it. I'm too critical to take pride, if you know what I mean. I'm always striving, you know, and you know, and if I ever start to think I'm something, you know, I can throw out any name out there, Guthrie Govan, you know, Nuno Betancourt, and you know that brings you right back down if you start to think you're anything. So, or even look at these guys at GitCon. My God, look at Phil X, look at Pete Thorne. Like, wow, it's actually Steve from Boston, man. They were doing a thing this afternoon, a jam, and oh my God, man, Steve from Boston crushed it. It was amazing. Yeah, but that was really cool. That was really cool. How long have you played? Please don't say 5 years or less. You know, that's a good question, Jeff. I haven't played consistently. That's the problem, right? And I'm completely self-taught, which is the other problem. Um, I actually wanted to play when I first picked it up and I had the interest. I was like 13. But I had two problems. I had no instrument and I had nobody to show me how to play. And you know, no lessons and whatever. I actually, the first year or maybe two, I was borrowing a neighbor's acoustic guitar that had strings about an inch off the fretboard. And yeah, so I tried to teach myself, and you know, trial and error, trial and error. I didn't actually uh, really try to learn and get good until I was in my early 20s. But then I only played for about 5 years then. No, maybe 7 years about then, and that's kind of, and then because I was playing in a wedding band, and then I didn't play for probably 12 years. You know, the kids' life, went back to university, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of my whole thing with playing music is I have to be in a band to play. Dave R, thanks for popping in, buddy. Dave R's taking off. He's got things to do. Thank you so much for coming in. But yeah, so I stopped for about 12 years. So and then I picked it up again about, I think, about 6 years ago, and then I immediately got into bands, and I, you know, tried to get better and better and better, and you know, this is where I am. So I could say that I've been playing since I was 13, but in reality, if you put all the years together, it's probably more like maybe 10 to 15. So yeah, but I wish I had lessons from the get-go, and I wish I had that, you know, it would have, I'm sure I would have been a lot better than I am now. I have a younger brother that's can play circles around me. He's absolutely phenomenal, but he had kids to play with, and he learned a lot from them at a young age. So that's an advantage that he had over me. Plus, he never stopped. He's been playing consistently. So, okay, I'm just reading some of these comments on the chat. Hey, okay, we're saying hello. Old Man Dan, I'm the same way. My biggest critic. Yeah, Old Man Dan. So you know exactly where I'm coming from, brother. Dave R's got to run. Okay. I've been playing, folks. Saudi G, I've been playing for 30 years and I haven't passed the campfire guitarist stage. Yeah, Scotty G, you know, it's what really gets me is these, like these kids that just pick it up and they're automatically naturals. Like, they just have the gift. I don't have the gift. I got to work my ass off to play the guitar, man. Okay. Paul Lou, I've got to look for that. Okay. Paul Lou is looking for a video. Hi, Literally. Okay. Cheddar saying hello to everybody. Mike Bradley is a monster player. Yeah, Mike Bradley's really, really good. I sub to his channel. Actually, he does some instructional stuff too that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. You should check out. If you haven't already subbed to Mike Bradley, I highly suggest it. Cheddar Kung Pao, one thing about all the monster players I've met, they are super nice and encouraging. I'm sure there's jerks out there, but I haven't met one who was a great musician. Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense, because if they're good enough, they don't have to prove anything, right? So, they're not going to talk down to somebody. Usually if somebody's doing that, it's because they feel inferior. That's just my opinion anyways. What do you do when you practice? You're an awesome. Okay. Again, I appreciate the nice words. Jeff, when I practice, because I'm in a cover, I was in 3 bands up until a week ago, and now I'm only in 2, but most of the time, I have to learn songs, so it's not really practicing, but I'm kind of just learning songs. But when I have time to practice, usually what I'll do is I'll start off, I'll do like, the metronome, the finger exercises, getting the dexterity down. Somebody was mentioning, and I forget who it was, they were going to, hey, Fellfish, how are you, buddy? Somebody was mentioning, holy crap, I got 22 people watching. This is insane, man. Wow. Thanks, everybody. That's fantastic. Sorry, getting back. How do I practice? So what I'll do is I'll put the metronome on, and I do finger exercises, and some of them I actually record. It's like my first videos were like finger exercises. Somebody was asking me about that, and I think they actually went and dug it up. But anyways, I'll do that. Just build up kind of dexterity with the metronome, right? And try to build up my speed, and just warm up, and then I'll run some quick scales again with the metronome, and then the best way to practice, I think, is I'll just put on some backing tracks. And what I do with backing tracks is I try to, like, I don't usually do rock and I don't do blues. I'll do like jazz or something with a jazz tinge to it, because that'll force me to play, get me out of the pentatonics, Terry's GG&G, how are you, man? You've done, yeah, I'm gone from the Brian Johnston look, brother. Yeah, no hat today. But yeah, I'll try to, that'll force me to sort of play more modally and such, or I'll play like I'll pick jams that are in keys that I'm not comfortable in, no A, no E, no B. It'll be, like an F or a C or a G, something that I don't normally, And the other thing I do sometimes is I just go on YouTube and, I'll look up a Robert Baker, who's phenomenal, or I'll look up, subscribe to him, or what I mentioned earlier, Mike Bradley, or Stitch Method. If you haven't subbed to Stitch, man, he's got entire courses that are just fantastic. He's another guy. I love the way Stitch teaches, because he teaches, like, I'm like, for work, I'm a teacher, and he teaches the way I do. He talks to people, not from up here. He talks to them at eye level, so it's a very non-intimidating way, and he comes across fantastic. So if you're not if you don't belong to Stitch, or sub to Stitch's channel, Stitch Method, STICH Method, if you're looking for lessons, he's fantastic. So let's see what I'm missing here. Okay, Scott Nickerson is saying, what is your main amp? I haven't seen yet. Well, I've got one upstairs. My main, if I'm playing a small venue, then I will use my combo amp, which is a Marshall DSL 40. It's not the same one that Sean in the Blues has. Sean in the Blues has the newer one. I have the original one. And I've had that since it came out, and I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic amp. It's a 40-watt Marshall. What does it got? Like 3 channels on it, a clean and a crunch and then a lead. Anyway, it's a great amp. I use that. If I'm playing a bigger venue, then I've got 2 heads. I actually have a video. If you check my videos, all my gear, I basically do reviews of every piece of gear that I have that I buy when I buy it. So I've got a gear review of my Marshall Classic, my Marshall Origin 50-watt head, and I got a gear. I do a demo of my Hughes and Kettner Tubemeister 36-watt. Those are my 2 heads, and I play them through a 212 Hughes and Kettner cabinet, and it's got vintage 30s in it. So depending on the size of the venue, I'll go with one or the other. Quentin James, I don't practice, I noodle. Yeah, well, noodling is, you know, the thing is, you got to play stuff that is not comfortable. If you keep going back to what's comfortable, that's why when I said when I practice and I like to play over, you know, like a jazzy thing or keys that I'm not familiar with, because the thing is, you want to keep expanding the palette, right? Guitar Hack, you've gone for, okay, I read that one already. Hello, everyone. Yeah, Terry doesn't have a wrench. Terry, if you'd like a wrench, I can throw you one, buddy. Yeah, Cheddar just noticed that Terry doesn't have a wrench. Doing better. My pull in my back is almost gone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you got back issues, Terry. It's funny because I'm actually having a hard time playing because my my shoulder is giving me problems. I got a pinched nerve and I got numbness in my fingers here, so I'm actually going to go see a chiropractor tomorrow. It's a bitch. Things that happen when you get older, man. Stitch is the man. Yeah, Guitar Girl. Stitch is definitely the man. Ian is awesome. Yeah, Cheddar. Yeah, actually, Cheddar. Yeah, didn't you do a thing with Ian a while back? I think I saw you with Ian on a live stream. Robert Baker looks like Ozzy Osbourne. He's awesome. Robert Baker's I'd love to meet that guy in person. He seems like a fantastic guy. Okay. Guitar Girl's saying that Stitch has a workshop. Yeah, I remember him talking about that. Yeah. You know what? I'd go to that too, but he's in Florida. It's a little bit of a drive. Paul Lou, my son is one of those kids. I spent a week trying to learn something, and he walks in and plays it, and he's in 15 minutes. Makes me sick. But I love listening to him play and let him. Yeah, that's great, Paul Lou. Yeah, you know, my daughter's the same thing, right? Like, I've got guitars in the house. She's had a guitar in her room for years, and she rarely picks it up. And then one day I'll be coming in the house, and she'll be playing like the theme to The Godfather. I'm like, how did you do that? Like, you know what I mean? And she's a natural. You know, she could be a great guitar player, but it's not something that interests her, which like just drives me nuts. Guitar Girl, come to Indian. Okay. Scotty G, Guitar Hack, I hope teachers make more than they do here. You guys are underpaid. I work in a college system, so I think I do a little bit better, but I completely agree with you. They are underpaid. R2, love your playing. Yeah, R2 is a monster. He's a shred monster, man. If you haven't checked out R2, actually, I say this every stream. If you haven't checked out all the other people in the stream, by all means, sub to everybody, folks. Sub to everybody. Support everybody. Let's grow this community, man. Let's keep it all positive. Okay. Bad shoulder, bad lower. Yeah, old man Dan, yeah. Hack, when you have your brother on. Well, my brother doesn't live close. He's a little far away from me, but if I have my brother on, well, actually, on my channel, I got one piece of original music, and it's an instrumental. It's called Melancholy. It's a song that I recorded with my brother, so it's the two of us playing on it. And if you listen closely, all the stuff that's completely is him. All the Mickey Mouse stuff is me. That's how you can tell the two of us apart. What is Stitch is page? Quentin James asks. It's spelled S-T-I-C-H, Quentin. S-T-I-C-H, method. Yeah, if you YouTube search that, I'm sure you'll find them. Jeff, I may take, okay, Cheddar Kung Pao. Okay, I'm way behind in the chat, folks. Robert, okay. So Robert is serenading. Guitar Hack, if you want to wrench me, go for it. And yes, I injured my back on a temp job at a. Oh man, yeah, bad backs are, Terry. I mean, even when they like, I've had a back issue since I was in my 20s. I used to work in, I used to be a construction guy, and they come and they go. They never completely go, unfortunately. Nice to see you all. Quinn, thanks, Cheddar. Paul Lou took. Okay, I've caught up. Paul, who took weekly lessons from Robert Baker for about 6 months, he did an awesome job at getting me away from my comfort zone on guitar. He's an excellent and humble guy. Yeah, Robert is he's a phenomenal player, and again, that's why I like Robert. Right? He's he's very humble, and that's something to think about. The only lessons that I actually Steve Stein. There's another one. Steve Stein, he's got some stuff on YouTube, but you can, I forget the name of his company. I actually bought a course from Steve Stein. You know what? I may even have it here. Cage Method. There you go. Caged Method Made Simple. Okay, there's a Steve Stein video. Now, I haven't even opened it because I have it on my computer, but there's the disc. But Steve Stein, he's another one. I love the way he teaches. He's very similar to Stitch. He makes it very, very simple. I mean, it's like anything. You can take any topic. It doesn't matter what it is. And you can always tell, like, if the instructor is keeping it on a simple level, he's not trying to. Sorry. Thank you. It's my wife bringing me a coffee. She's awesome. Yeah, he talks to you at his level. He's not trying to impress you with how great he is. He's just telling you how it is. Steve Stein's like that. Stitch Method, same thing. Okay, Guitar Girl, for whoever was asking, Guitar Girl wrote, it's Stitch Method Guitar. She put it in the chat if anybody's interested. Quinn James, I'm on disability because of my lower back. Get epidural nerve blocks every. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that, Quentin. That sucks, man. Thanks for great answers. Sub to Stitch. Yeah, Scott Nickerson, man. Again, everybody. I mean, I sound like a broken record, man. But I've only been doing this, as you know, probably just a few months, and this community is fantastic. And let's keep it growing, man. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it positive. Cut me. Yeah. So yeah. So has anybody got any other? Oh, somebody was asking me about picking technique. I'm not. What you know? What I think I'll talk about picks, and again, like the reason I'm not sort of it doesn't really grab me to sit here and talk about how I pick is because picking is a very individual thing. It's not one person's picking is the way to pick. It's a very individual thing, right? Even the picks people use, some people will use really heavy picks. Some people will use lighter picks. There's not a right and there's not a wrong. It's no different than what kind of string gauge you use or any of that kind of thing, right? I'll talk about the picks themselves that I can do. Hey, Jimmy T, how are you, man? So I've mentioned these before. Okay, if you can see that. These are the Dava picks that I use. Okay. These picks are, for me, I really like them for a couple of reasons. One, they're very sharp, so I don't miss, because with the rounded pick, sometimes I'll miss the string. And the other reason that I like them is if you can see there, okay, they've got like a rubber end on it. So, it's going to stay in my fingers. It's not going to fall out. It's not going to slip. Okay. And as far as thickness, I mean, they are relatively thick, but the way they're designed, the rubber part, there's a little bit of a flux between the rubber part and the hard plastic. So there is a little bit of a give there. Okay. If you can kind of see that. Okay, but these are the picks that I've been using a lot recently. But funny enough, okay, let me grab this one here. The other day I couldn't find a Davis, so I grabbed one of my old. These are the JD3s, the Jim Dunlop Jazz 3 picks, and these are super small. Okay, and I went and I grabbed one of these, and all of a sudden I was picking better, which is weird because I stopped using these originally and I went to the Dava picks. Now I'm back to these again. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, man, look how fast, like, I'm flying now. You know, it's I don't know if it's a, you know, like so it's just something in my head or if it's real or what. But these are the other picks that I use. And what's nice about these again is, you know, they got a little bit of a texture so they don't slip out of your hands. And again, they're very sharp. The sharper the better, because you know, again, it's a personal thing for me. I won't miss the string. So those are the two picks that I kind of go with, and I don't know, I'm kind of like, now I'm thinking about, well, maybe I should go back to JD3s, the Jazz 3 picks, because these Dava picks are these are a little bit pricey. Okay, these are like over $1. They're like $1.50 or $2 a piece, something like that, Canadian, right? I think I pay like $7-8 for like 6 of them, something like that. Let's see, any other questions here? I got, okay. Aura Guitar's in the house. Hey, Aura Guitar, how are you? Thanks for popping in, man. Getting something. Okay, so there's a discussion going on about back problems. Yeah, well, like I said, all questions, any discussion, you know, let's talk about backs. Yeah, and all kidding aside, though, man, like with the back thing, I hear you. I've been going to a chiropractor for over 20 years, so I totally get it. I know it's horrible, and again, I'm not going to go on a lot about backs, but like as I said earlier, once you've injured your back, I hate to say it, but it's something that will be with you for life. It's just different levels of, you know, comfort. Let's put it that way. Yeah, check out Aura Guitar's channel. You know, again, check out everybody's channel. They're all cool, man. Paul Lou, you should check out my pick dropping technique. Damn thing is guaranteed. Yeah, I have that problem too, Paul Lou. That's why I got to get Terry G is rapping. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So has anybody got any other questions? I don't want to go. It's like 7:43 now. I don't want to go. I'm only gonna go up to about 8 o'clock because the way this is kind of worked out on the Thursday things. I got 26 people watching, man. I think this is a record. This is unbelievable. But what I was going to say was we got Canucks with Guitars coming on after me. Ben Coombs. If you haven't subbed to Ben, by all means, man, sub to Ben. He's an awesome dude. And then EJ's Guitars is on after Ben. And if you haven't subbed to EJ's Guitars, got to sub to EJ's Guitars. You know, he's an awesome dude, and he's got some pretty entertaining videos, man. Michael Collings, how are you, man? How's it going? Yeah, so anyway, so that's it on picks. You know, if anybody, I'm just going to put this out there. I already mentioned it to Guitar Girl. If anybody wants, like, if you're a beginner, because, I mean, I can't, you know, and just need some little tips or things, whatever, you know, hit me up and, you know, we can do like a little Google thing and I can, you know, maybe try to help you out, you know. Again, you know, like anything I can do to support somebody. You know, I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm not here for money, man. You know, this is for me. It's like I'm just a hobby. It's all for fun. You know, just let me know and maybe I can help you with some stuff, right? Again, I'm not an expert, whatever. You've seen what I can do on my videos. If you think there's something I can help you with, by all means, man, hit me up. You know, check out my Facebook. Best way to get a hold of me, go on my Facebook page. The link is below, and just message me, and we'll see if we can do something. Okay. Awesome, Jeff. Have you read Into the Void? No, I haven't, Jimmy T. Into the Void by the title. I'm assuming that's a. Wait a minute. Is that the Ace Frehley book that was written by a former girlfriend? Because I think I've seen the book, and it's just a big trash talk of Ace, from what I understand. I haven't read the book, but tips on best hair gel. Uh, I'm not wearing hair gel. This is my hair. It's just slicked back. I got the ponytail in the back. I just got my hair cut. Not that I never use hair gel. I just swear to God, I'm not. I don't have a product in my head at the moment. Um, Nothing wrong with hair gel. I just don't have any on right now. Um, Family in town. I came on to say, hey, Bruce, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. You have a good time with your family, buddy. Cheers. What's up, boy, Bruce? Yeah, I need to read it if it's. Oh, GTV. GTV, I was answering your question. If you want to catch it on the replay, you asked me last week, I was looking for topics, and you were saying, asking about how to get gigs. So I did a whole spiel on that. If you're interested, buddy, you can go back to the beginning and check that out. Yeah, I just came across it. Hack job. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I don't even know if you can buy that on Amazon anymore. Quentin James, most of my videos are for people who can play but just want to see how to play a certain song. Just a close up of me playing along to songs over six. Oh my God. 600 videos. Wow. That's a lot, buddy. Good on you, Quentin. That's awesome, brother. Sharp cut guitar. Oh, thank you, Guitar Girl. Jimmy T, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said hack job. No offense, brother. I take no offense to the term hack. I take no offense to that. Don't worry, brother. Sweet, I'll watch it. Yeah, GTV. Like I was saying at the top, man. I don't know. Like I don't know if it's the same because I think it really depends on the gig thing. It really depends on where you live, man. Like I'm sure it. There's different ways of going about things. I'm just giving you like what I've experienced here in Toronto. Okay, everybody saying hello. Okay, so I guess at this point, let me make a couple of announcements. We got 24 people watching, which is awesome. Make a couple announcements. So I am doing a live stream on Monday. I'm doing a hangout on Monday. It's 8 o'clock. We made it 8 o'clock Eastern time on Monday. I'm gonna have on my Barbara Walters show, so to speak. Guitar Girl is coming on. Really looking forward to that. Gonna have a chat with Guitar Girl, find out all about roosters and hens. And no, I'm kidding. We're gonna talk about her playing and everybody that follows Guitar Girl. And again, if you don't follow Guitar Girl, follow Guitar Girl. Talk about her playing and the amazing progress that she's making playing guitar, and her singing is just it's just insane. So check that out on Monday at 8 o'clock. I'll have Guitar Girl on. I've got a lot of people lined up in the next month. I've got some surprise guests coming up, and it's all people that everybody in the community knows because I want to feature, regular YouTube people that everybody knows. So I've got a lot of I've got right now I'm booked right through to November. So yeah, some of the people I have are coming on the chat right now. So anyways, so yeah, check out my Monday shows. They might fall on a Tuesday. I try to keep it to a Monday, but you'll get the live stream bulletin anyways. But so on the earlier part of the week, I'll do that, and then the Thursdays it's just my melon here yapping. So, but I want to try and keep that format going. Love your vids. Just watch. Okay. Got me. Okay, Jeff Underwood. I support the local talent in Monroe, North Carolina, where I live. Search my channel for Stone Table Live. Okay, check that out, folks. Jeff Underwood's channel. Is Stone Table, is that your band, Jeff, or is that a band that you support in your area? Quen James, what's your Facebook page? Quen James, there's a link for it below, man. Yeah, below I've got links to some fantastic YouTube channels. Check those out. And if they're not listed there, just check out the names that are on the chat here. Like I was saying earlier, I've said this about 100 times. I hate repeating myself. It's annoying, but it's annoying to you, me repeating myself. But yeah, sub to everybody, man. Jimmy T, crack the hat. Can you name any products? Oh, Jimmy T's throwing me a kiss quiz question. Okay. Can you name any products Ace Frehley promoted? The most obvious one is Gibson guitars. He's got 3 models of Gibsons. And he did a Dunkin' Donuts commercial a few years back. He also promoted Washburn for a very brief time, and a computer company, really like early, like old, like in the Commodore VIC days, some computer company that I do not recall. So you got me on that. Easy one. Jimmy, that wasn't easy. Foul Fish. If I haven't said hello to you, Foul Fish, I apologize, brother. Foul Fish is in the house. Lots of talent in the chat. Yeah, for sure, Foul Fish. Dunkin' need coffee. Yeah, your Dunkin' Donuts in the States is like our Tim Hortons in Canada. Yeah, and from what I understand, Tim Hortons is slowly sneaking into the U.S., which is cool. So, have to find a donuts one. Yeah, Jimmy T, there's a Dunkin' Donuts commercial where he comes out in full costume in a boardroom and he does the firecracker swirly thing on the end of his guitar. Yeah, just check that out. American Devil, let's see. He also has Epiphone Budokan. The funny part is it's the best version of the guitar than the Gibson. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I remember he was selling them on his website, Terry. Those guitars, Budokan guitars. I love Ace, but I would never buy an Ace guitar except for the Gibson 59 reissue one. But the ones he sells at Budokan, and the reason I wouldn't buy it is I'm not a fan of the 3 pickups. Because I'm such a Gibson traditionalist, for me Gibson's got to have 2 pickups. So that 3rd pickup, that middle one, that for me that ruins the look of that guitar. That's just my opinion. Okay. Guitar Girl's saying some bookstores have Tim Hortons coffee. No, Dunkin' is more like country style. Oh, Terry. Yeah, well, country style, I don't know if country style has the same rep where you are, Terry, but country style in Toronto is sort of like, it's sort of like Coffee Time. They're second rate compared to Tim's, at least in Toronto. He had a pedal, did he? Who had a pedal? Ace Frehley has never released an effects pedal. And I'm pretty sure of that. And yeah, if that's who you're talking about. I'm a Folgers kid. Yeah, Paul Stanley did a Folgers commercial. He actually sang on it. You can find it. It's on YouTube. It's kind of an embarrassing commercial for Paul Stanley, I will admit. Okay, folks, we got about 5 minutes left. Better than Sanka. I remember Sanka when I was a kid, R2. Anyways, yeah, so we got about 5 minutes left. If anybody has any last-minute questions or comments they want to make, please go ahead and do that. I want to get off so that Ben can do his thing. Yes, Williamsons are good, though. Country Styles coffee used to be very tea-like. Oh, okay. Thought he may have been connected to some flanger. Maybe he just used it. No, Jimmy T, there's no... Actually, it wouldn't be bad if Ace did come up with a pedal, but no. No, the only gear that is associated with his name currently anyway is Gibson. American Devil. If I haven't said hello, how are you, man? Thanks for popping in. Okay, so yeah, so if there's good night guitar hack. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna yeah, we got like 5 minutes left. Last minute comment and question I wanted to make. Okay, I'm done now. Jason, man, you kill me, brother. You kill me. Metalax Music. How are you, man? You know, I feel bad you're popping in and I'm almost ready to cash out. I'm good. That's great, American Devil. Hey, man, I want to hear another tune, brother. Your tunes are awesome, man. They are freaking awesome. Love the shirt. Yeah. Thanks, man. This is like I've had this shirt for a while now. This is just before Phil cracked I don't know 100,000 or whatever he is at now. Yeah, he's another guy. He's a sub. I mean, everybody subbed to Phil. He was like the first channel I think I subbed. A lot of good information, but Phil's so big now it's hard to get any questions answered. Minka was dying for a coffee. Sri Lanka. Oh. Metalax, oh, you're driving. I hope you're not driving and texting, or, you know, that's not safe. That's a waste of $2.10 for us. Okay, Terry had some bad coffee. Rooster Warrior, stand tall and keep it close, Anna. More rooster talk. Okay, folks, it's 7:56. Thank you all so much, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate you all coming on. This is such a blast for me. It's so much fun. Yeah, so, you know, please subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. I would very much appreciate that. Please sub to everybody else in the channel. I got links below to people. Please sub to them. They're all great channels. Check out Monday's show, 8 o'clock Monday Eastern Time. I got one-on-one with the Guitar Girl, KB. And until then, adios, everybody. You all have a fantastic weekend. Check out Ben's show right after mine. Ben Coombs Connects with Guitars. Check out EJ's show right after that. Thank you all so much for popping in. Cheers, everybody. Take care.